Succinct Summer Summary. This is the Ericast for the week of September 20, 2009.
From Ericast.com.
Ericast.com.
Welcome to the Ericast.
Well, hey, thanks as always. And I always say that, but I really do mean it. Thank you for tuning into the Ericast, listening or watching if you're on YouTube. If you have the audio feed, make sure that you do go to the Dweeb Thoughts thing. Category, home, field, collection, whatever you want to call it, over on YouTube, because that's where the video version of this is. I'm your host, Eric Larson. As always, we put right up front the fact that we have a listener feedback line over at k7.net. We haven't lost it yet. 206-339-3742 is the place to call in. Leave a comment, leave a message. Let us know what you think. You know, with the advent of Google Voice, which lets you dial out, if you have a Google Voice account, you could dial out from your phone to a long-distance number and not pay anything. So you really have no excuse not to call. I used to tell you, well, grab a cell phone, maybe you have free minutes, sorry it's a long-distance call, but now the fact that it's a long-distance call just shouldn't matter at all. So I realized it's, let's see, June to July to August, September. It's been over 3 months. Oh, no wedding ring. I'm still married. In case someone cares enough to watch the video, rewind it, and say, oh my goodness, the wedding ring's gone, something tragic's happened. No, my fingers were just a little bit swollen, so I took the ring off. Sorry. Still married, still love Ruth, things are still good. It's been 3 months, different hand, don't have to worry about that, 3 months since an Ericast. Sorry. And you know, a lot has gone on. I wish I had the time to put in a bunch of really cool photos and stuff that would show you what I've been up to. I'm just going to talk about it. So really, this shouldn't even be video. It should just be a nice little audio podcast. But I haven't seen you in a while. You haven't seen me, so we figure we should populate the YouTube feed as well. So here I am. One of the highlights of the summer, you saw a little clip in there, is my parents and I went back into northern Wisconsin and northwestern Wisconsin, near Webster, and drove by, actually walked into the cabin where I spent, oh gosh, when I was ages 6 to 9 or 10, summers were spent there. There was a little lake in near Webster called Bonner Lake. Bonner was spelled with only one N. So the road signs kept getting stolen. I'll let you guys figure that out on your own. But it was Bonner Lake. And the clip that's there is the fact that my folks built a garage and my handprint was in the garage slab from 1980. And it's still there. I can put my hand down and there it is. It was kind of interesting. They've done some remodeling on the cabin since. Made it much bigger and stuff. So it's different. But it's kind of interesting to you know, things change and yet they're the same. I don't know, but that was a big trip. Went to a nearby fort. There are photos of me when I was that age, about 7 or 8, where they were excavating this fort. There were some college students just kind of digging in the ground. I didn't think it was super cool at the time. It's just some students digging in the ground, but they were excavating the fort and doing the archaeological dig, and now there actually is a fort that's been rebuilt and stuff. So we had a chance to see some of that, the visitor center and stuff. None of us were really feeling up for a big long walk to an extensive tour, but maybe next year. We'll see how that goes. There are also some trips of a boat trip. After many years, I decided I'm going to take a little Mississippi River trip, because if you're not a local Ericast listener, you probably know that the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area has the Mississippi River running through it. So I took Candela up to go on a boat trip. Just a little hour-and-a-half tour or whatever around St. Paul. Went upriver a little bit, which was fun. I enjoyed it. Candela said it was fun. And the best part was the popcorn that we bought. And she said maybe next time she could bring her Legos so that she could do something fun while on the boat trip. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that I'm not going to spend $8 to bring her on another boat trip. But that was good. We learned something. We had quality, as a coworker of mine said, we had quality daddy-daughter time. And we did. It was a good thing. I did some biking. You know, remember the bike with the e-zip thing? That was good. Bike is still good. Up at work, we did summer installations. We have leased desktop computers, and the lease turns over every 3 years. So we replace about a third of the computers on campus every 3 years, and so we got through that. That made for kind of a busy summer, but made it through very well, thanks to good colleagues and coworkers that were able to help out with that. So thanks to them if they're listening, but kept me sane through the summer, so that was very nice. Let's see. I know I'm missing a bunch of stuff, but I just really wanted to kind of touch on some of the key highlights of what was going on. So lately, now we're into September, school has started again. The girls are both in school, both Kendall and Chloe. Kendall's in official kindergarten. Chloe has speech therapy twice a week for the cleft lip and palate. She's working on her speech. She's talking just fine, talking up a storm, except she has no S's or F's. So you just kind of imagine a sentence without any, S or F sound, and that is a little bit awkward. So she's working on that. Kendella went this summer from struggling without training wheels, Daddy, I can't do this, I'm never going to be able to ride a bike, to just in the past 2 or 3 weeks riding up a storm. She's just doing donuts out in the side street, spinning around and biking like she's been doing it all her life. So it's amazing how those little brains can just pick up on stuff that quickly. So lately, I just the past couple days got done with an Ericast session. A year ago, kind of interesting, more than that now, a year and a couple months, we were down in Madison. A colleague of mine and I were down in Madison for a seminar, week-long seminar thing from Ericast. Ericast is the big consortium group. What would you call it? The term is escaping me at the moment, but it's a big group of academic technologists. So that's kind of what we do. Then they put on conferences and things like that. And the past couple of days, there's been one on collaboration and online discussion, that kind of thing. The distinction between collaboration and cooperation, and all sorts of intriguing, sort of socially webby sorts of things. Which is good because tomorrow is the social media breakfast here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. The first one I've gotten to go to in months and months and months, between schedule problems and missing out on tickets. But I got in. I got my ticket. And that's part of the reason I figured I probably should do a podcast, because as I schmooze with all the social media breakfastians tomorrow, like the introverted INTP that I am, it's kind of a joke because I really am bad at schmoozing. Very bad. I have no problem talking to a camera. I mean, people think it's kind of freaky talking to... I can do the talk to the camera thing because it's just a camera. And I know that you are an individual on the other side of the camera, so I'm good with that. But the whole big group, let's all talk and stuff, so I don't do too well at those. But if I do manage to talk to somebody, and I say, yeah, here's my website, emlarson.com, and you can check out the Ericast, ericast.com, and I'm on Twitter and this and that, they might actually go check it out. So if you have, hi, thanks for checking it out. And I realized if they say something that's just from June, they're going to realize I'm lame. Which is true, but I don't want them to know that. I want them to think I'm actually really cool. So I figured I better actually get the podcast feed updated. But that's I hear the girls yelling upstairs. They're supposed to be in bed. They're not in bed. And by the way, as I do that, you can see even my microphone is falling apart. I think it's been... watch the video if you're listening to the podcast. Hope this sounds okay. In the video, you'll see that my microphone is kind of waving back and forth. That's not very good. But do check it out. You know how to get a hold of me. But it bears repeating. Where's my next effect? There you go. Listener feedback line. 206-339-3742 is the phone number to call. And we will take your message, play it on the air. It'll be great. The other thing that you can do is you can send an email. We love emails. Someone did, actually, asked a question from an earlier Ericast. Eric at Ericast.com. ERICAST.com is the home of all things Ericast. And until next time, I won't say next week. I hope it's next week. I doubt it will be. But there'll be a next time eventually. So until next time, take care.
Thanks for listening to the Ericast from Ericast.com.
Visit us at www.ericast.com.